music in your head. Oh no, it's failing.
That's all I need, dude. That's all I need.
You got.
How in the heck are you?
Yeah,
I'm on X
good.
and it's like, yeah, it said something's wrong.
Your Wi-Fi seems to be shocking from my perspective. I don't know if it's you or me. No, it's you. It's you.
Shocking, eh?
Shocking, darling.
Is it better?
Not really.
I'm on X and I see the NativePHP live supplemental post from NativePHP, but it says the broadcast is not available.
Oh no, I just looked at it and it was fine. So I think it's good. Hello, folks. Okay. Sorry, we're just sorting out some like unexpected technical.
That's what we do, though. That's what we do.
I mean,
it's another day.
Normally, the stream is just so ready to go.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah,
that's this content not available, dude.
No, it's working for me.
I gotta drop off. Can I drop off? Because it's saying I need to reconnect. I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna come back in. Will that?
It'll be fine. Right? I'll stay here and entertain people. I'll just like bob my head a little bit, and they can imagine the music that's happening in my ears. Hello, hello, Kevin. Welcome, Lawrence. Welcome. This dude. Welcome, Willem. This dude. Gua. And I don't know which part of this I should say. I'm sorry. Hello.
Hello.
Stream looks flawless. Well, that's just because I put on.
It's because I dropped off.
A little bit of.
What's up? What's up? What's up? Hey, we got some folks in here. Hey, cool.
We do.
Yeah. So,
got a few
what
people.
is this? What the hell are we doing, Simon? What's going on?
I've just shown all the hellos to just fill some time.
Oh.
All right. Oh yeah, I did just say I showed Willem's what's this, and I just said hello. I didn't even acknowledge that it was a question. What's this is, I think that's a message. I don't know. That's too meta.
Yeah.
What's up, buddy?
Dude, and we got Larry in here. Larry, is that the Larry that bought me dinner in Buffalo? I think it is. I have a feeling.
We've got Johan.
Oops, I took it from you. My bad.
Shane HD.
Johan.
Right. I'm going to steal it for you.
Hello. Wow, we got some folks popping in here. Cool. Well, all right. So I'll go ahead. We've been saying like we could do like streams anytime, really. And we have a reason to do it. So spent a lot of time this weekend, in the last week and yesterday getting ready for 3.1. We're aiming to launch it still Friday, but we have a lot to go over. And I'm like, why don't we just do it on a stream? Let's just go over. I got the docs ready. I've got like demos ready of like the things that we're doing. And like, let's do it. Let's do it for everybody. Let's
do it.
So that's what we're doing. So
do it.
I'm going to share my screen then. All right.
I'm just going to say do it like that in the sort of Ben Stiller-esque.
I love it.
Do it. Surprise streams.
Those are the best streams.
Yeah. Oops.
Hexagons are the bestagons or whatever. What am I looking at? Changelog. In fact, so this is totally impromptu stuff.
Wait,
right?
This isn't live, is it? The changelog.
I'm never live. Mobile Air.
Oh my god.
All right, no, not Mobile Air. It's the what is it called? The
NativePHP.com.
All right, so let's look at. Let me close this. Let me click hide. You know, it's so funny. Let me just take a second here and explain. Everybody in the world, what I just did. I was brave enough to do the thing that nobody else ever does, which is click the hide button on the bottom, because you don't know. What does it mean? Hide the whole thing? Hide my screen? No one knows. I did it once on a real like meeting, and it didn't blow anything up. So I encourage everybody, click the freaking hide button, not the other one. Click the one that says hide, and then it's okay to click. You click on this thing, right? And you go, and then you switch away, and it's going to go down here. Just click the X. It's not going to cancel the stream. It's just going to take it off of your screen. So there's a freebie for everybody. Just go ahead and do it, because I tell everybody, just click that. You're fine. It's okay.
Please get it out of the way. Yeah. This is the worst UX imaginable. I can't believe that
it's confusing.
Billions of people use that, and it's still there.
Okay. Anyway. We've got upgrade guide, configuration, commands, and changelog. Let's go with changelog. Let's start with changelog. And that's the page I'm on now. All right. Let's read through this.
What have we said? What we're doing
read through this? Yeah, I did. Where were you? We're going to review the stuff for 3.1.
Yeah. I was paying attention.
That's all right. I'll explain it to you. Simon.
Thanks.
If you check us out on YouTube, we're live right now. Just go, you can watch us there.
Wait,
like, comment,
I can
subscribe.
watch us now on YouTube.
Yeah.
Cool.
Or X, I guess. Let me see. X still not available.
I'm on TV.
Oh, hey, Mom.
Hey, Mom. Look, man, no hands. Yeah, no.
This hour stream is going to be 2 hours.
It needs to only be an hour, because I have to walk the dog still. I didn't go out.
You didn't go out. I went out. No. I did go walk. All right, here we go. Here's the new things. I'm just going to read through it. If I need to explain any more, then maybe we just add that to the doc. So I really should just be able to read it. Persistent PHP. These are the new features.
I'll take notes of any questions. Just
okay.
So
that would be good. Thank you. Yeah.
Up.
Good call. Persistent PHP runtime. Laravel boots once, and the kernel is reused across requests, yielding 5 to 30 millisecond response time versus the 200 to 300 milliseconds previously. Excuse me. Now I can explain that more. This is enough for a bullet point, and I don't care if I need to explain that.
Let's do a little bit of doc reading tennis, where you say something, and then I'll ask a question, and then you'll answer the question.
So these are, just to keep it in perspective, though, these are just like bullet points of new features, right? Just the change log. There's more stuff, but
my question is, how old were you when you first sipped the sweet nectar of life that is beer? Oh no, wait, that's completely unrelated question.
And I think it was like 8 or 10 or something. I was fishing with my grandpa, and he would always drink Jenny Light, a horrible beer. And I just was like, I was thirsty, and I just had a sip. I didn't get drunk. I don't remember getting drunk. We caught fish that night. I do remember that.
Okay, well, you remember something. Okay, so persistent PHP runtime. You're saying this is...
No, you asked the question.
I'm getting to the question. 5 to 30 millisecond response time. How the hell have we got down from 200 to 300 milliseconds to
that's another
under 30
topic,
milliseconds?
We're just saying this is what we've done.
All right,
I can explain. Like I said, I can tell you that. I can tell you that. But that's, in a nutshell, we did some stuff. The stuff that I did for native, right?
Yeah.
I was able to extract some really cool things out of the super native architecture and bring some of it back in for what's existing for today. And it's like, if we can, why shouldn't we? And so this was one of those things. Exactly. So there's actually the first few of these is coming from the research and the work that we were doing for super native. We're able to bring it back, which makes this, in my mind, one of the most performant upgrades, probably the most performant upgrades that we've done, optimizations and performance upgrades to the project since its beginning. We've done a lot, and I keep saying like the next thing, because it's every time it's a new frontier here, folks. There's always cool new other fun stuff going on, and we're always like trying to reach in and see how badass is PHP, you know, at this level.
I'm going to read you. I know you can't see them, so I'm going to read you some of the messages that are coming through the chat, so you don't have to keep flicking between the screens. So one that I've just shown from Noe Hasil. native PHP is one of the most exciting things to happen to Laravel and my life. See you at Laracon, July. I've got questions. Fire emoji. It's a really mixed bag of stuff in that one message. Love
That's
it.
a lot. That's a lot going on. I like it. I like it a lot.
It is.
And you're 100% correct. It's just, I mean, it's the most exciting thing. I'm a bit biased, but it is. I mean, that's why I chose to work on this, because it's like the coolest thing, right? My thoughts. Don't hate the player, hate the game, or something.
There's a next one from Lawrence. Shane just copy pasted the code from Octane, and voila. I mean,
I did not.
That's minimizing the. He didn't write the code himself, but it's not quite Octane.
Well, I'll explain through that too. So I went back and forth with Claude about, we came up with a solution, and I was like, this seems very much like Octane. Why don't we just use Octane? And it's like, no, you're right. It is very similar to Octane. The difference is Octane has a class, what is it called? Server.php, something like that. You can use Swool or Roadrunner under the hood. This is kind of our own runtime, number one. So we could have adapted like a new driver for Octane and just kind of use that. It is similar in nature. The difference is like the way that Octane clears the resolved classes in memory are more aggressive than what we actually need. So if you think about Octane being on a server where thousands of users, potentially millions, whatever, are hitting the server and it's serving the same runtime, well, every request has to get kind of zeroed out so that you're not carrying session from one user to another. You're not sharing that state from one user to another. So it has to clear out that session state and some other things, cookies and stuff like that. We don't have that problem on mobile. So what their 200 or so lines of PHP code for us is literally 2 lines of the things that we have to care about to zero out between requests. So that's why we didn't go with Octane, but it's a road that I did look down. Boom. Boom. Drop the mic. Drop something.
All right. Did that work? Did you hear that? Don't know.
I heard something.
I broke it. Oh, crap.
I can't see anything. Where are you? All right. Oops. Yeah. I didn't see the message. I'm going back now. Everybody can see this whole thing. Lawrence Dev. Is this the Larry from Buffalo that bought me dinner? That's what I was wondering. Whoa. Mute. All right. See, that's why I stay in my world.
Stay on the dots.
Yep.
I'll
see.
Close that thing. You just hit that close button. Right. It's fine. It hasn't gone away. Wait, Shane, where did you go? Dude, come back. No, I'm joking.
Dude,
you panicked. I got you. Sweet. Okay.
All right. So next. ZTS, Zen thread safety. So PHP support enabling background key workers.
To the previous point.
No, technically no. So you can run persistent PHP runtime without thread safety. It is tied into the next point though, which is something I teased on Twitter yesterday and got a lot of reactions.
Cool. Yeah, I feel like these are sort of all wrapped up together somewhat, because it's only when you do them all together they're sort of.
But you need to have some beefy content here for new version. You know,
just
like you gotta
stretch this out as much as possible. I like.
But these are, I think they're independent. I mean, all right. So yeah, ZTS. I think what isn't here is how much work you spent on and I spent on merging our binary compilation scripts into a single script that's running on GitHub Actions that's automating the entire process for us to do, which is down here, PHP 8.3 to 8.5 support, ICUINTL support for iOS, finally, like all these other things.
It helped
create. Yeah, I know. But it helped create all of the, it took away a lot of the time that it would have taken to do any of these things. It made it a lot faster. So anyway. This Coke is making me burp. Sorry, guys.
Wonderful.
All right, so this is what I teased yesterday: PHP
At
queue
least
worker,
it's
and there's some
not worse than that.
You're right. I drink from my mouth, so you're welcome. All right, so we've got, this is the thing I teased yesterday. I took a little screenshot and like, I bet you can't guess what this is. And then I realized after the fact that the first line was like PHP artisan queue work, like it says it right there, like what we're doing. But I'm like, yeah, whatever. I'm like, nope, that's wrong. You know, to everybody that guessed it right. Yeah. So a dedicated background thread. So we have multi-threading. So we have a separate thread that's running. It's running queue, a queue. So we're just polling and saying run queue work, you know, every couple seconds, whatever. And so we have a background thread. So we have a separate thread for PHP processing. And there were so many challenges to get this working. I think I spent probably 20 or so hours yesterday and the day before trying to get this to work in all the different kinds of modes, debug mode,
That's
not
with
debug
AI,
mode, and
right? Like,
with AI, yeah, 20 AI
imagine.
hours, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like what, 6 months or something.
Yeah.
So yeah, so you can do like, you just set the queue connection to the database and dispatch jobs as normal. So we have a new queue section, which we'll go and look at on how that's all kind of working. But that's literally all you have to do is you set this to database and then you dispatch, you do like, you know, background, update API, whatever. And maybe you, actually, let me explain that a little bit better, because I have a really beautiful scenario in my mind, which is you have an app that's integrating with an API, but you cannot guarantee that you're always online. So you write things to the local database and you have a column that is last synced at, which is a nullable timestamp column. And when you make successful calls to the API, you either delete that row, or maybe you don't even need the column if you just delete the row, but maybe you want that for other reasons, or you update that timestamp. And then you can have this job that is like, give me all of the, just query the database, eloquent query, all of the rows that are null for the last synced at column, and synchronize them with the API. So you can run that on a background. That's actually a background schedule task. That's not even the dispatching the jobs. I got them confused, but that's all right. You can do that. And we're working on a plugin for that. That's a separate thing. But say you want to upload a video, right? It could be a 2 gig video. If you try to do that with the way things currently are, it's going to completely lock up the single thread that you've got. You can't navigate from one thing to another. And any HTTP requests, if they're happen to be on a slow 3G or something like that, it's not going to work very well. And it's going to freeze up the UI. So you can push all of those things off to the background and have them doing stuff while you're using the app as normal. Separate thread.
Okay, let me just jump in there. So for the benefit of Ben, who's just joined and asked, what did I miss?
Oh God.
Very quickly, we're just going through these bullet points that you can hopefully see on the screen. What's coming in 3.1 on Friday. So persistent PHP, which means we're not having to boot PHP up every time. And kind of adjacent to that, we've got this thread safe version of PHP, which we're using then to spin up multiple threads, one of which is a queue worker, which is constantly ready to do some work off the main thread, which means that you can just use the Laravel standard queue primitives that you're used to and have work happen in the background. So you haven't got to think about, I'm spinning up a thread and I set it up to do this or do that. You literally just use the standard dispatching of a job and know that that job is going to get handled when the queue worker that we've got, the thread that's just spinning around waiting for jobs to appear, is just going to handle it, which is amazing because it means you don't have to set anything up and you can use Laravel the way that you're used to, and it will just do work in the background whilst your app is running in the foreground, right? It's got to be a foregrounded app to do that.
In fact, I got a demo. Boom. Who wants to see it? All right. So check this out. I'll even show you the code behind this. So it is here. Yeah. All right.
So many
check
demos.
This out. This is my life, dude.
Yeah.
All right. So look, I've got this just sleep button that just does a toast. It sleeps for 5 seconds and it does another toast. And then I've got a queue sleep, which does a toast and then it dispatches a job. This job sleeps for 5 seconds and then does another toast. So this queued sleep does this separate toast from the background thread. So the demo is this. If I click just sleep, right? I have to use my finger on this thing. If I use just sleep and I try to navigate, you can see I'm navigating.
I did exactly what you've just done on stage in Amsterdam.
Oh,
I tried to click the screen with my mouse. I was like, oh yeah, no, I have to actually
that doesn't
press
work. So you can see I'm trying to navigate here, right, on the bottom. And then it finally...
it didn't do anything because you were waiting.
It's on the same thread. All right. So, but if I dispatch that job, so if I hit queue sleep, boom.
That was quick. Oh,
now I'm moving around and I'm still moving around. And there it is.
Oh, and it happened in the background and it's still painted to the UI. That's amazing.
And you could even do like this. I can go boom and background the app and then bring it back. Boom. Boom. There it goes.
Yeah. Boom. Yeah, exactly when that actually is going to run is a little bit hard to tell, but yes.
Yep. But it keeps it queued up and all that. Yeah. And then the same thing on Android.
Same problem.
It's totally like not working. Now we're good.
Same solution. Yeah.
And so cue the sleep and boom, we're navigating away.
Jang. Sweet. Look how fast it changes as well.
There it goes. Yeah, that's the persistent PHP. In fact, it's one of my favorite things to show, like, especially you can see it really, really nicely here. So before the sidebar closes, you can see the purple background for whatever page this is that we're on.
Yeah.
What is this? Oh, just the home page.
Yeah.
I'm just going to click like flashlight. Bam. It's just done.
Yeah.
Bam. Done. Navigated.
So sick. And just like that's not like a cached page or a static page. Those are
no.
It's calling native function calls, it's calling into the database, it's rendering a blade view, a livewire component, right?
In fact, I did a lot of work for Opcache, and that will come out in a future release. Well, this isn't using Opcache yet.
Oh, that's not even using Opcache.
No,
oh my gosh.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So the Opcache is
good Lord,
freaking
so
insane. Well, it's beyond perception, and that's the thing. Then it's like, all right, well, how many more threads then can we put work on? You know, like how much more? Yeah. Because that's the whole thing. Like it's imperceivable to the eye is the argument. Like 20 milliseconds is already fast enough. No, it's not, because if you're doing 17,000 things simultaneously, which apps should be able to do when you get into real app development, and maybe a little tease on that later, you need that kind of speed. You need things to be as fast as possible. You should be in very low microseconds or even in nanosecond territory for function calls. So we're working on it. We're getting there. We're much closer. The Opcache stuff brings like the total PHP on an Android. My shitty $80 Android, the PHP starting up 3 threads in sequence, not parallel. You can parallelize them. 23 milliseconds is how long it took to start up all 3 PHP threads. 23 milliseconds. So of like the 1.2 seconds for the cold boot time, most of that was actually like optimizations we can do in the main activity for the app boot sequence, you know. So performance, guys. All right. Next, dynamic PHP version selection. If you have
that should be part of the 8.3 to 8.5 support, but yeah, sorry.
Oh, you're right. No, let's change it. You're right. It should. I think it already is here. composer JSON. Yep, it is. That's what we're here to do, dude. Let's change it. Mobile Air Native PHP. Where is this?
I don't think you have it open here.
Gotta open another one.
We're going to witness his laptop melt itself into his desk.
Nothing wrong with that.
It's what we're here for. This is the drama.
Good old meltdown.
Look, we can't all be like Cloudflare and Vercel fighting each other over who done what best. We just have to come and watch each other's laptops burn themselves into the ground.
It's a great mantra to live by. Where is changelog? That's the one. All right.
This is actually even better to do it here, honestly, because it's...
You want to do it here? I like using it.
Yeah, you can edit it whilst we're reading it as well.
Whilst you with your British whilst. All right.
What
you know I got to throw the racist jokes in.
Wait.
While.
Stop. What?
Whilst.
While.
While. While.
Wow.
Whilst. Like
what's the I don't know. I'm gonna. You carry on. I'm gonna research that.
I got Claude here, dude. I can just like open.
No, I'm doing it. You carry on with the important thing. I'll do the least important thing.
you carry on.
Whilst you do that, I'll do this.
I actually deleted the wrong thing. Hang on a second. All right, there we go. Binary caching. All right. Can I make this bigger?
Okay, I've got the answer now. That's all.
A little too big. One of them means you're like from the 1800s or 1700s. Okay, here's another thing, and this does affect our config. So binary caching. So when you run the install command, it's going to look inside of your storage native PHP directory and download. It will check to see if you already had the binaries downloaded, and if they're already downloaded, we're not going to download them again. So install is very, very fast after the first one, and there's that. How it affects the config is we should exclude the native PHP, the storage / native PHP directory now, so that it doesn't get copied into the app. Then you have the binaries zips in the app that you don't need.
Could we put those binaries into the native PHP folder rather than into storage? Because that's,
yeah,
I think that's already git ignored.
Yeah, that makes sense. Probably like a binaries directory or something.
We don't need to do it now. I'm just, yeah.
Why not? That's what we're doing, isn't it?
Oh my goodness, we're just gonna do it. Let's just
Claude.
do it.
Hey, Claude. I hope you are having a wonderful day. Simon and I are doing a live stream right now, and you are
and we're drinking. What would you like to drink?
Also, are you there, C? There, C. What would you like to drink? All right, enough of that shenanigans. We want to do a small refactor. We are currently storing binaries in the storage native PHP directory. Instead, let's put them into the native PHP / binaries directory. How's that?
Yeah.
Assuming it exists, because that install is what creates that directory. So I wanted to make sure that it's doing that, making sure that, you know what I mean? Like we're moving those files over first and then downloading the binaries.
It'll do it.
Please. And thank you.
Whilst.
What is this whilst crap? Like a Jack London. What's his name then? Hey, Simon and everyone watching. Great to be on the stream. And yeah, I'll take an iced oat milk latte if someone's offering.
Oh, that's boring.
Sounds good to me. I'll take it.
I mean, it's going to be tasty, but it's like, at least like harden it up a little bit with some vodka, you know, or something else. Maybe some
rum.
What's that? No. What goes with coffee? Maybe Bailey's or Cointreau.
Contra. Base path dated PHP binaries. There you go. That's the one that we want. Yep.
Booyah.
I miss not having interaction.
Lawrence says, glad to see I'm not the only one who lost sanity and is complimenting the robot every now and then. I mean, I think that is the sign of a sane mind, because you are preparing for the future, which is sure to come.
Did
you can
you
point
see-
back like, I said thank you and please and so many nice things. Don't kill me.
Did you see what Sam Altman said of how many people, or how many, it's like tens of millions of dollars are wasted yearly by people just saying please and thank you?
I mean, what are you gonna do?
It's like every time you say please, another third world country person dies because of a global warming or something. Like, I'm sorry, I'll stop saying please. He said soy milk latte. 75 people died because I said soy milk latte.
Think of the people.
What the heck? We're laughing now, but someday it could be a reality. All right, done. Here's what's changed. Force clear cache now looks in. Yep. So if you want to do force, it will clear them out for you. So let's just do a sample. Here's the kitchen sink app. Come on. There we go. Now, if I do the force install now, it's not going to delete for me because it's deleting it only out
in
of
a different place. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's go into
storage.
That's the one. There it is. Boom. Oops. And boom.
You can just delete that folder. But yeah,
that's true.
Cool.
Yeah. There we go. So, and install, and that's it. Oops.
Young.
I'm running I need to bump because I switched. Hang on a second. 8.5. That'll do it. I could have done it with a command, but whatever.
Oh, lovely.
This is just my local.
Yeah.
Now, in fact, I want to delete this directory. Oh, see what I added here? Would you mind starring us on GitHub? It really helps. Defaults to yes.
It should be yes and yes. Oh, yes and hell yes.
It's just one more step in my testing of everything that I have to click this. I want like a skip command or a skip flag, so I don't have to keep doing it. But there it is, binaries. Look at that. Boom, boom, boom. Now I want to delete this. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Delete. And make sure that it still ends up there.
Right. So yeah, cool. The whole install is pretty quick. Like, you've got a good internet connection, so it's a bit difficult to tell. But if you do the install again,
yes,
without the force option,
done.
Zing.
Yep. And then if you do
it's
dash
just reused,
then it will reinstall. It's downloading them again.
Yeah.
There you go.
And you can see the download steps. Cool.
Yep.
Nice. So
works for me,
saves
dude.
a little bit of. Can you just scroll up in the output to not the one that you've just run, but the one before where we ran it after it had downloaded? So it's specifically saying cached binaries.
Yep.
So it's found them. It's going, these are the ones that I should be using. I've already got them. Let's use those. Now, quick aside, did you do something? I saw something, maybe you sent it only to me, about reducing iOS binary size even further.
I did. Yeah. So there were some, we had some debug flags flipped still for the binary builds.
Mm-hmm.
There was a couple other small things, but yeah, it was like just some debug flags, number one. But then we talked about the libpng thing, which should be in the docs, which is very small, but for now, we are finding it not necessary for libpng. We didn't have the other like JPEG support and WebP for GD. So we decided today not to build with those because that's going to add, it's going to add potentially bloat. No one that we know of is actually using. Actually, they can't actually use it right now. So, and it never was compiled on the Android side. It was already inconsistent. So we're stripping libpng and GD from iOS.
That suggests nobody was using it.
And I think like if the community really desires it, then we'll hear the outcry and we'll fix it, sure, or we'll make another build type for that or something. But I think right now it's safe to just yoink it, and document it.
Yep.
Right.
Happy with that. So we're getting rid of the GD extension from iOS build, basically. Yeah.
I put this little guy in there too. Did you notice that?
Oh,
cute, huh?
That's very cute.
Yellow. Yeah.
Ah, little V3. Look at you. Mm-hmm. How's it going, buddy?
Hey.
Okay. Next.
Next. All right. So this we can change to cached into the native PHP. Whoopsie. Hang on.
Oh my God.
Binaries. To avoid re-downloading on every build. Great. Versions manifest.
This is cool.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So these are all dynamic now. So yeah, we don't have to really I mean, we can it doesn't have to be here, but we can explain like essentially you got us all compiled from the same place and in GitHub Actions. And then I went to frickin' town over the weekend, really cleaning up and like moving stuff around and making it badass. There's still some work here that we can do. This is really for our internal tooling. This really won't affect anybody, to be honest. But the idea is we detect what version of PHP you're running. And then we have a dynamic URL that's just a JSON file that will tell for that version, these are all the URLs that you can, I'm sorry, for not that version PHP, for that specific version of native PHP, these are all of the binaries URLs to download, whether it's 8.3, Android only with ICU or without ICU, or iOS with ICU, without ICU. So it'll give you all those, and we don't ever have to, we were hard coding the URLs ourselves. Now we have a cron running on a GitHub action once a week. I think we can get away like once a month, to be honest, because they're just like patch versions. And
yep,
go ahead.
Yeah, I agree with that. Probably once a month is fine.
And it will go off and we'll see, hey, do we need to do any patch updates? Yep, on 8.4, there's a patch, so just rebuild the 8.4 binaries, and it will update the binaries, and then it will update the URL because it'll change from 8.4.19 to 8.4.20 on the next one, or whatever it is. And it will just put that into the URL, and the next time you do a fresh install, it'll pull those in. We did talk about, though, like if you didn't build against that patch, we shouldn't have to worry about patch version updates for PHP affecting your application.
No,
but
in theory, no.
Yeah, I think, minor for sure, major of course, but yeah. So yeah, it's all dynamic now. We don't have to think about it. We were having to rebuild this all the time. Now we don't have to really worry about it.
Yeah.
We also have for you and I.
Stop press. Logan is here.
Logan, CRAFT, man in the house. Front row faller. That's what I call him. The front row faller. If you know, you know. I bet he's going to say LOL. Let me see if I can pull up chat. The front row faller.
Shark tooth.
Toothless. It's not toothless. he's from Tennessee, but he's not toothless. He's not that Tennessee, you know.
He's not that. Yeah.
Yep. Cool. So welcome, my friend. Versions manifest. All right. Android 8 plus support. This is so far down the line, but it is huge. It is a huge thing. We are now fully supporting Android 8 plus Oreo plus. So this is now 99% of Android users. Yeah, you can just change it, test things out. The web view gets tricky when you get to older versions. Trust me, it will break. You will be surprised. You'll come knocking on my door and I'll be like, I don't want to hear it because you wanted 8 support and Tailwind 4 doesn't work. So, or you can make it work. I have made it work, but you got to figure it out. Cool. PHP 8.3 to 8.5 support. I think we already went over that. Native PHP now detects your app PHP version. Composer JSON matches it automatically. 8.3 is the lowest. So if you have 8.2 in your Composer, it's just going to pull 8.3 down.
Yeah, I think it's worth just saying on that specifically. At the moment, we're intentionally detecting the version that you declare in your composer.json, which is where you're saying like this is the version of PHP that my project, like my code and all of my dependencies should try and abide by. That is not the same as the one that you might run Composer update with, which will say in your Composer lock file that you did this with PHP 8 point something else potentially. So you should probably try and line those up yourself to make sure that your project is defined for the version that you're actually building it with, because you might run into weirdness with that.
Well, I think the biggest thing is like if you have a dependency that requires say 8.4 and you have 8.3 last installed, but then you just change your Composer JSON to 8.4, we'll install 8.4. I got that backwards, but you know what I'm saying. If you're on 8.3 still, but it's confusing.
It is confusing. Like it's just complicated. I think
just keep it. Yeah. If you're on 8.3, do 8.3. If you're on 8.4,
there's the whole,
do 8.4.
It's the complication of like which version of PHP are you running on your machine, which version have you defined in your Composer JSON, which one are we then going to try and download when we try and download, which is only when you do a native install. It doesn't happen when you do a Composer update. And then what's that going to run on the phone, and which version of PHP has Composer sort of baked into all of its inner workings. And you might get warnings about like, you know, the PHP version that you've installed dependencies with is different from the one that it's running on. So you just need to kind of make all of those things line up a little bit. We might improve that down the line so it's reading from Composer lock file rather than the Composer JSON, but
I have noticed I think it will fail pretty quickly if
they're misaligned.
If they're mismatched. I think that it's like it can't find one of the core classes of our package if you just swap it in Composer JSON and you don't do the update, and or if you have like 8.3 binaries but you're on 8.4 or something, it'll just fail. And so just do Composer update, and I think that's all you got to do. Locally.
Well, do Composer update and then native install.
And then correct. Yep. Okay. And then native install force too. If you if you do a native install, it will download. If you're on 8.3 and you don't do a force, it'll download the 8.4s if you upgraded. You just have both in your locally, but that's not a big deal. In fact, I thought about at one point having like a root directory where we put the binaries to read from, and specifying that maybe an env. So you don't have, if you got 25 different apps locally, you only need the binaries in one place. Something to think about. I'm not going to do it now, but like each app doesn't need its own copy of the same files, the same zip, right?
Yeah, I mean, you could say the same about Composer dependencies like vendor stuff, but to a certain extent, I think it's different. Yeah. So
anyway,
I'm sort of I agree up to a point. I think I'm loath to do it too early because
I agree. No one's complained about it yet.
Just get
it's something we can.
What are they? It's like total 30 megs now. as zipped files. It's not an awful lot.
ICU. We didn't talk about this earlier, but ICU for iOS, which that's
It's
our
big.
next bullet point. It's like
big,
200
baby.
megs. It's like 200 megs. It's huge. Yeah.
Shoosh.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're probably compiling everything, and we don't need everything, right?
Correct. We can optimize a bit, but you asked for it, you got it. Okay, that's what we do now. So that's the next bullet point. ICU INTL support on iOS. iOS now ships with full ICU support, enabling Filament and other packages that depend on INTL extension to work on both platforms. And here is
pretty good
the demo for that. So this is the coolest thing. This is something I wanted to do from
this app that you're going to open now is
like
250 megabytes or something.
I don't know what it is. I can look at the app data or something. Let's see. All right. A.A. No one steal my password. It's password. All right. Signing in. First of all, if you notice, I added this. Let's look at this real quick. We should put this in the docs too. Filament. I added this to my provider. This render hook. So in Filament, we have these render hooks. And I said panels, render hook, body, start. So I have this new HTML string that is just a JavaScript that's adding the NativePHP safe area class to the body. Everyone see that?
Yeah, that's good.
So
that's interesting. I wonder if there's a cleaner way of doing that, because that's like PHP writing JavaScript which changes some HTML.
Nah, don't be old fashioned. Whilst you go and look for that, I'll make the things work. So that so yeah, all this is like just working, which is freaking sweet.
Why are you saying it weird?
What movie was that on? That was on something.
Yeah, we watched it together at your house.
Oh,
it was
something.
Hot Rod.
This is the yes. That's
what way?
Say what way?
Where do you get off?
This is what. Stop. I'll show you. We got 10 minutes, dude. No, we haven't even touched any of the other pages. We can keep going, I guess. We're the ones that set the constraint, unfortunately, optimistically. This is the page that wouldn't have rendered before because the number : format depends on INTL, which depends on ICU, and that was compiled in PHP and LMNOP and all that stuff. What I wanted to see happen, which is awesome, is if I click on one of these guys, I added an actual like filament action, right? That is calling the dialog toast function under the hood, which I think is so cool. We can just go bloink, boop, and it just does like right from a filament action, native stuff, you know? So like freaking run with it. Now it works on Android, iOS, and everyone is happy, and there's no more resources on your users' phones because
Ben James says about INTL, has anyone tried the Symfony polyfill? Unfortunately, loads of people have tried it and struggled with it.
Nope, I didn't personally look into that, no. But what I did look at, Mr. Simon Hamp, is the fact that ICU is already compiled on iOS. But because we are statically linking our libs and not dynamically linking, we cannot compile against the iOS ICU. If we were to do that, we could actually just use ICU that's on the device instead.
So you can't compile dynamically linked. You can't use dynamically linked libraries on iOS. So that's the one
constraint.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean you can't compile against it, because if it's on the system and it's already set up in a reasonable fashion, then it potentially is usable. We're not tapping into it, so we're having to ship our own version.
One thing I had done though
I'll look into that.
I did a static well, I did it the other way around. I had a single dynamic that was wrapping all of my statics on Android. So I can do dynamic libs on Android, but I wonder if you could go the other way around and have a single static that wraps your dynamics, and then you could dynamically link and trick.
You're trying to
iOS.
like hide a dragon inside a chest. And I don't know. I got a sneaking feeling that iOS will sniff you out. We could try. We could try it. I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway, something to think about. Where are we at? So back to NativePHP. Boom. All right. Configurable Android SDK versions. So this now we have these. This should actually be spotted differently. So they're env keys basically. So you can put inside of, let's see, this one. You can put, NativePHP Android Min SDK is 26. So you just put that there, and that's what your background. It will default to 33, which is what we were currently supporting. But you can go all the way back to 26, which is 8, Android 8.
And that then updates all of the configuration to tell Android that you're targeting older devices.
It will pop it into, that's all it, well, I mean, the reason why it didn't work before was not because we just didn't change the version number. That's how you change it. It just updates it in Gradle for these things. So there's, I mean, you can read up on these, but this is what you are compiling against. This is the minimum that you're supporting. And the target, I always forget what the target was, but it's a number. It's a thing. But no,
so
the reason
all of those.
Yeah, we have defaults built in for all of this, but you can override them with your env. And I should, let's put a thing in here. More docs. There we go. Cool. We'll update docs for that. Plugin multi-register. This one's fun. This is a nice little, I think Vince, where are you, Vince? Are you here, Vince? You're not here. Vince dropped off. Vince has been kicking ass, dude. He is in our Discord. I have not had time to go into Discord and talk to everybody. I kind of miss it, to be honest. But he is in there kicking ass, taking names, and like kind of filtering a bunch of stuff up to us. This is one of the suggestions that came, I think, from him or the community. It's one or the other. But it's like when you just run plugin register, it will find all of the ones that are not registered, and you can just like, multi-select with Laravel prompts. So you just hit space and select the ones that you want to register. And then in addition to that, if you have a plugin that you didn't register, it will warn when you run native run. It won't stop it because you don't have to register things. But it will warn you and say, hey, you didn't register that one. Don't forget to go register it. So those two kind of, maybe they should just be like next to each other, actually. Yeah. iOS, --iOS and --Android flags for the native jump command. So
you can you can just
prompt. Yeah. Yep. You can just bypass that. Improvements, static linking.
Do they need to be flags like --iOS and --Android? I think we've got them as just iOS, and like on the run command, it's native run iOS.
Static linking on.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm asking the question.
No, I agree. Yeah, everything else is just Android, and it's like it's dash, or it's just A or Android. I just use A and I as much as I can, and actually, like the open command and there's another command that they're just like they're not consistent. I want them to be consistent.
Yeah, they should be.
I can't do like native open A, native open I. It won't work. I have to type Android, and I want to be able to just use the alias.
Yeah. Okay, we'll fix that. That seems easy enough.
Okay. Static linking on Android for better performance and reliability. plugin compilation during native package builds. That's a big one because we did not have in Bifrost. I didn't go back and look, and that might be something we push out before, but we were not compiling plugins on the package command, which means Bifrost, you can no support for plugins. I'm pretty sure I pushed that. Pretty sure I pushed that. It's an important one. I think we would have had more complaints if it didn't work. URL encoding preserved on Android redirects. URL encoding preserved. That was that came from that was a bug that came from a PR from the community.
Yeah. That was good.
We got rid of React HTTP and React socket dependencies because we were using those at one point for jump, but now we are not. We are using just PHP server. And then Laravel boost skill support. I wanted to shout out pushback.
Yeah, I think any of these that have come from PRs and stuff now as well, we should probably link back to maybe the PR we just or something.
Oh, that would be good. That would be good. Link to PRs. Just notes to myself. The other thing I have to do, which I have not done yet, is test out jump with the new persistent PHP background thread. I know none of that stuff's working. So
yeah, okay. Well, so we need to sort of switch to jump over the next couple of days and get a new version of that out.
Correct. Yep.
Yeah. Fine.
Okay. Next, because we are out of time, but we're not because YOLO. We're going to go look at, we have commands, configuration, upgrade guide. Let's look at the upgrade guide. What? Oh, that's it.
Sylvan.
Oh, commands.
I see the two guys from my favorite Laracon EU talks. Too nice.
Aw.
And did he give you anything? He gave me some chocolates. That was so nice.
No.
Maybe some.
No, he didn't give me any chocolates.
I should have saved some. I ate them all. They're gone now.
You should have saved
some. Sorry, you're not getting any. Dude? They were very good.
This is kind of this is going to change anyway. This doesn't need going over. It's only a couple things, and it's just what's changed in our commands. All right, so that's done. Configuration. All right, so I like chocolates. Where is, let me do this. There we go. Persistent runtime. Bum, 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 bum.
You know, it'd be really nice there. You said V3.1 introduces. It would be cool, I think, in the docs. I'll play around with this a little bit. I don't know if this is the right way of doing it, but you know how I don't like the way the PHP website does it exactly because I think it's a bit ugly, but the sort of greater than equals to PHP 8, whatever, for when it's trying to show you that some feature is available since a given version of PHP or on major versions of PHP. Some a little label next to that heading, persistent runtime, and then it says since 3.1 or something.
B 3.1 plus or something.
Yeah, exactly. But
or
that's
since.
Ugly. I'll think. Don't put it in there. I'll toy around with something and see if I can make that. Very good. Whilst you're 3.1ing, you can also persistent the runtime.
Plus 3.1 plus.
plus.
Version. V. There you go. Everyone's OCD is kicking in at the same time. Like,
No,
God,
everyone's going,
stop
what
it.
the hell is he doing? Like, this is not the content I came for.
What is in that Coke Zero that he's not admitting to? All right. So
Pooney's
persistent
here.
runtime. Who?
Hey. Mr.
Pony Pal?
Pal. Yeah.
Mr. Pony Pal. Dude, wait a minute. Dude, it is 1 o'clock in the morning.
No.
What are you doing up?
It's not. It's not, is it?
It's 1 o'clock. Oh, I fell back an hour. So maybe it's midnight?
Yeah. That's right.
Or did it go the other way? It's midnight?
No, it's midnight.
Go to sleep, bro.
Get to bed.
Get some rest. As
you need
me,
to sleep,
dude,
man.
I say it. I was watching a YouTube
growth.
video last night. It was 12 o'clock, 12:15. I'm like, let me just finish this video. I watched a couple of videos. I'm like, all right, it's probably 1 o'clock now. It was 2:30 in the morning. Oh shit. What did I do? Anyway, I woke up at 7. I was fine. That's what caffeine is for.
Yeah.
Guess what, dude? We all die at the end.
We can fix all of our problems with, manufactured
caffeine
medications and stuff. Yeah, exactly. It's fine. We'll pay the piper later on.
That's right. That's what we're doing. We're working to save up so we can pay the piper later.
That's right.
All right. V3.1 introduces a persistent.
Yeah. Sorry. Carry on.
Thanks. PHP runtime that boots Laravel once. It reuses the kernel across all subsequent requests. This dramatically improves performance from 200 milliseconds, 300 milliseconds per request down to 5 to 30 milliseconds. These are real. I mean, it's dependent on, maybe we should say like dependent on hardware. We don't want to be like, are we liable? It's open source. We can't get sued for that. It took 34 milliseconds and like, we get letters.
I mean, you put the little squiggly like.
Right. That's what that means.
So yeah,
tilde.
30 milliseconds,
no, this is
400 hours. Somewhere in there.
Whatever. It's somewhere between. Yeah. The runtime section controls this behavior. So this is set by default to persistence, but you can just run in classic mode if you want to be dumb. All right. We gave you the option, backwards compatibility, reset instances, and GC between dispatches. Let's see what those actually mean. So mode is set to persistent default to reuse the Laravel kernel, or classic to boot shutdown per request. You can actually toggle this and you can see the difference. It's kind of interesting. If persistent boot fails, it falls back to classic mode automatically. And this is all nicely tested, actually. Reset instances, whether to clear resolved facade instances between dispatches, it defaults to true. In GC, garbage collection between dispatches. So just like with Octane, we have to clean out things between requests, and some things need to be, some things don't need to be, and you have to understand some of the stuff. The defaults are probably going to suit everybody's needs here. You'll probably be fine. If you take a peek under the hood, you want to play with this stuff, you can do that. But if you want to, like, if you have a lot of memory growth over time, then switch this to true for GC between dispatches for everything, which are almost then back at like changing this to classic mode, but not quite. It's still going to be faster, but you just have a little bit more work that you're doing between things.
Can you explain the reset instances if you set that to false? What? Like, why would you ever want that to be false?
It's like the double negative thing is messing with my head. So, all right. So the facade instances are the like stuff you're resolving out of the container, right?
Yeah.
Which goes into like the garbage collection stuff. Resetting these, I don't know. Maybe that's a good question.
I feel like that's a little bit of a like there's some benefits to doing that in a server environment where you might sort of make a database connection or something in a, like a shared instance across multiple users, and then you don't want to get rid of it, right? So you wouldn't reset it, so then you'd say reset false, but we're not in that sort of
you would never want to not do it.
I kind of feel like that shouldn't be configurable. I don't know, but I don't understand.
I think
enough
this
about
could speed
what it's
things
doing.
up. So if this is set to false, you're not going to resolve. If there are instances, well, this kind of actually goes into, and we'll see it down a little bit. Some of the, like if you have your own package or something that you're building, maintaining, that needs to clear out garbage collection, and you want to maintain that, we give you the hooks to do that. And I think that if you want to, if you set this to false, I think it would be faster, but you're going to accumulate more memory over time. So I think it depends on your app, which means you really have to, maybe it doesn't make sense to open this up for developers at all. Maybe it doesn't make sense to open up any of this for developers at all. But I am kind of siding on the extensibility in case people, but it could add just confusion to everything too. Since we are now fully managing the runtime. Sorry.
I'm kind of inclined. Like if you set, if we went to, what was the other option? Not persistent. Is it classic or something?
Classic. Yeah. So like, why would you ever want classic? That's the other question.
Well, yeah, I guess there's a certain element of this is like, this has come together pretty quickly in the last few weeks, and we're rolling it out as the default now for everybody. So like, I guess people should really test that. I don't mind it being pushed as the default, but if it's
toggleable,
yeah, that's got to be toggleable in my view, because the current behavior is already different. So the other ones, I don't know. Maybe we don't need to worry too much about that.
I can't think of a reason why somebody wouldn't want this. And if they're like, well, because it's broken for my app, then tell us the error and we'll fix it. And that's a patch. But I don't foresee that, first of all, which no one ever sees bugs. There will be bugs, right? That's how, that's why there will be future versions. So we'll research this a bit more, but I mean, I think that some of these things should be, at least for now, like, hey, we're giving you sensible defaults for this new method way that we're moving forward. You can switch back if you need to. We don't recommend it. There's no reason to, but if you want to, have a blast,
Yeah. Ben James says maybe default it all and let someone use a service provider to override if really needed.
Say it again.
Ben says maybe default it all and let someone use a service provider to override it if really needed. Question mark? I think that's the same
config though.
Yeah, if we've got the config, I think we should just use the config. I think it's more about like exposing config that's not even strictly that.
So the config doesn't grow. I mean, our config is huge. That's what she said.
As long as those things are defaulted so that you don't have to like add that config into your config, and it's not going to break stuff because it's not there, then that's fine.
So the build demo, the kitchen sink doesn't have it in the config.
Yeah, so it blends it in with the base config or something, like sensible defaults. Cool. Yeah. Logan, the master of decision making, says I would leave it configurable.
Master. That was my Metallica voice. Master.
It's very good.
Master of Puppets is pulling strings. Oh.
Oops. What was that?
The persistent runtime handles LiveWire state, router state, and facade instances automatically. You only need on reset if you have custom static state that accumulates between requests. And there is some more. Oh, these were just some docs that were missing from before. Deep links, they weren't documented.
Can you add a line after that aside close, because that's causing the deep links heading to not look like a heading. If you go to the code side, wherever it's got deep links, just add another.
This here.
Yeah. Hey,
bam.
There we go.
Wow. everything came
subtle
alive.
markdown weirdness, but yeah.
So deep links were
Subtle.
not they were not documented in the config section. Now they link to the deep links, and then same thing for start URL. It's in the config, should be documented technically. So there's just little stuff there. Yep. Default Android 8.26. Oh, there's the ENV stuff for that. This is probably worth looking through. Android
build config.
And there's stuff here that's existed for a long time that we just haven't.
Okay.
The R8 Pro rules, which need more work, to be honest. ProGuard rules. But they should be at least live here. There's no changes have been made there. It's just documenting what's been in existence for a while. So you can read through this stuff. You can play with this stuff.
I think that probably cover all of that in the course at some point, because those things feel like
it still needs work.
Deep dive stuff.
And what these are, it's ways to, you can see here, like you're minifying, you are obfuscating stuff. You can like strip whole classes out of, and there should be like some sensible defaults just of what native PHP does. It's kind of a moving target. We haven't paid much attention to it. I haven't paid any attention to it in a long time. It was one of the first things that we did with V1.1 or something like that. But this is a tool for Android that we have access to, and we should expose that, and we should support that. I don't think it's getting much use now or any use right now. And I haven't really even tested like with Bifrost, any of these things, to make sure all the way through to the app stores things are working as you would expect. But the point is they should be documented at least the way that things currently are, and we can iterate over them from here.
I agree. I like that.
So we're going to skip kind of that whole bit. The Android status bar style, this has been there forever. This is also added. It's just not, wasn't documented on the config. Let's see what else there is.
We are exposing a lot of those things as env keys. It feels like some of them don't really need to be exposed at that level. Like it could just be config, no? Like the status bar thing I'm talking about more so than the ProGuard stuff.
Oh, this.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let me think about like through the install and package process. So when we do merge,
seems like
the
a
config,
sort of superficial visual style thing for your app, which you're not really changing on a per environment basis. Like, environment being the environment that you build it in, essentially.
Bump, bump, bump. So like this.
Yeah. I also think that one could apply nicely beyond Android, because I think iOS has got something similar.
You might not want those to match though, right?
True. That's true.
There's some dynamic status bar styling from iOS 26 stuff as well. That's a whole other conversation. True. It's another different thing. All right. That's not what I was wanting to do. Hang on. Let's see. No. What? Stop. All right. Development server. Configure the development server used by native jump. Yep, these were already there. We just are now adding docs for the configuration for those. So you can change the port and the WebSocket port, which probably irrelevant actually at this point, because we did have support for like hot reloads, which we do need to spend some time on, but we actually have to spend more time on jump anyway because of the new stuff that we're doing. So
yeah,
just so much to do. We need some more sponsors so we can hire somebody to manage Jump app for us.
Does anyone have like 250K that is just like burning a hole in their pocket?
Please, we can use it. We can use it. Use it. I promise I won't fly across the world and blow it all in one shot.
He took that dollar and he turned it into $1 million or something. I don't know what I'm talking about.
I'd say whilst you were making these funny jokes, I'm
whilst
all of this stuff. This is all like all this. It just wasn't documented here, so it's not anything new or anything. It's just making sure it's all up to date. Cool. Upgrade guide. So we did the changelog. We did commands. We did the upgrade guide. I'm sorry, configuration upgrade guide. We can look at that now. Upgrade guide. Okay.
It's looking comprehensive.
Woo.
Me gusta.
All right. High impact change, persistent. Dude, I just want to do it here.
Yeah. Yeah, let's go through them.
I mean, it's just like kind of highlighting everything.
Well, that's
but
the
it's
thing,
not like anything you have to do, right?
Right. That's kind of we've got these split out into different things, but they're just really summarizing stuff we've already got in the change log.
So maybe we just get rid of
I think it's
things.
Just what do we actually got to do?
Yeah. Boom.
Is it that? Like, don't you, yeah, all of those sections of content underneath, like PHP persistent runtime, isn't all of that covered?
Well, I didn't get to that yet. I was just starting with, I didn't look at that yet. We didn't get to this yet. I could. You want me to just drop these things?
Well, I'm just thinking, like,
this one's probably
what do you need to change? Like, if it's documented elsewhere, I think it's fine to remove from here. It's like, this is the upgrade guide. So what are the things that we need to change about our existing application?
All of this can go. The persistent runtime stuff. Let's see about the 8 support stuff. Closer update, native install force. Yep. Drops the minimum Android SDK API 33, Android 13 to API 26. Android 8. This dramatically expands the number of devices you can run on your app. The default min SDK is not 26. Not 26. That is false. It is 33.
Well, so this is the thing. Like, again, that's not a change that you have to make. So I wonder if that even needs to be in there.
Correct.
It's more like
we already documented.
It
says right there, no code changes are required.
Sure, but go back, because I think the thing that you might want to do is, I mean, restore that Android section in the code. The thing that you might want to do is say, if you want to support, you can support back to API 26. If you want to do this, you need to add the following to your config. Like, I wouldn't, I think it's like 3.1.
Tell me what's right.
Yeah, I think just sort of remove the text that leads into the code change, and just say, if you want your app to support API 26, add the following to your NativePHP/config.php or whatever it is. No, it's config/nativePHP.php. I would put config / before the nativephp.php. That's it. Yeah. And then a colon instead of a full stop. Yeah. Yeah, that's good.
Pay too much.
Sorry to dictate a specific.
No. Yeah. This is important stuff, and you're way better at this. You've had more experience in this, so I just defer to you. It's easier for me anyway.
Way better, just.
And I do think we should. I think keeping this as an env is fine. I can see, like, if you want to change it locally to test, but on Bifrost you want it separate, then you keep it separate until you're finished with your testing.
What does it look like in our stub of the config file? Does it look like this with the env?
Yeah. In fact,
so actually, maybe if it's blended the config, you don't need to update the config file. You just need to add the env key to your env. I think that's.
So it's these.
Oh. Okay.
And I do see, like, these should be envs so that I can test locally, and if I accidentally push it up and it was to change the config, it's not going to affect anything in Bifrost.
Yeah. So actually, then I think the what's it called that we were just looking at? Whatever this file is that we're looking at, it's probably not even that. I don't think it is adding those to the config. I think it's just adding the native PHP Android Min SDK to your env file.
As long as they've got this in their config, because they might be coming. Everyone's going to be coming from an old version unless this is new. They won't have that.
But isn't it blended? So the default config is going to look for the env key anyway. Like if you go to a project that doesn't have this in its native PHP config, will it still build?
It defaults. Yeah. And right. I think that's another one that's not in
the. Sure. And that's fine. Like, I think that's actually a good approach, because it means that again, the amount of changes that you
these are here.
Okay.
So let's comment that out. Let's do. Just to flush it out. In fact, I don't even need to finish the build. I can just tell you by looking at Android app source main. Oh, maybe it was that one. It's this. Yeah, this is fine. It wrote the right defaults.
And then if you just set the value, so you could, if you stop that build, I guess it's going to break something, but.
No, that's fine. I know what you're saying. Okay. Change the env.
Change it in the env rather than in the config. Yeah.
So this actually was.
It's already there.
Yeah, okay. And it didn't go to 26. It defaults to that, which makes sense, because think about it. In the code, we're going to say reach for the config and have a default. If the config isn't set, it's going to default to whatever's in the default, and that has to be 33. You don't say if it's not in the config, go to the env then.
No, you do, because that's what the config defers to. Config can pull from env, but I think the problem is that whatever is defining the default config is not
so wait a minute, let me ask you this.
It's not reaching into env.
You would say if you do default minimum, whatever it is, I want to get that from my config android dot min SDK, right?
Yeah.
And then if that's not there, then I would go to my env.
No, you wouldn't do that in your code somewhere. What I'm saying, what I've got in my head maybe is we're not even doing it, and I just thought that we were. Maybe I'm thinking about a different thing, but where the config file that you have in your project is just like overriding a config file that's already loaded from somewhere else, and maybe it's like, here are all of the settings that there could be, and we'd load those in for you. But if you don't need to have all of those in your config file to make them work, and so they've got sensible defaults that use or look for env keys.
I see. Yeah, we don't do that, but that's a good idea. That is a good idea. So like here we would do, then it should read from this, which points back to the env. Yeah, we should merge. We should look into that. That's a good idea.
Yeah, that would
Is that what desktop does?
I can't remember. I know I've done it in some projects in the past, and maybe I'll just getting everything mixed up. It's just
simple array merge, right? That's it. You just put.
It's not simple, but yes, I know it sounds like it should be, but it ends up getting really messy when you've got multiple files and nested things. Yeah. Okay. So let's leave it as what you've put in there as what is that thing that you keep flicking up?
With what?
Is that, I don't know. You've got it on like the tab, command tab or something. It keeps distracting me.
Sorry.
So go. Let's go back to the code for the change like the thing. I think just leave it. So yeah, we leave it like this. I think that's the right thing.
You do need this in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then people will know, or they don't understand. Like, dude, who the heck was it that was like, you have to install Laravel? That's like, you assume that we already had Laravel installed and that's not in your docs or something. And it was like, what? What are you talking about?
Oh my gosh.
I don't.
Yeah, no, it's like somebody taking something like, way out of context.
It's like, you're assuming I have a computer to do this. You're assuming I was using a keyboard to talk to you. What are you talking about? I don't know. Anyway, probably a really cool dude. We'll have beer someday, but that was kind of a weird comment. Next, we're good with this?
Yeah.
This doesn't need to be, there's no change, there's no upgrade guide, anything. Oh, actually there is.
So, yeah. I think this one is, if
important,
you should define in your composer.json. I think that's the only thing that we need to say here is like, you should define. So in that second paragraph where it mentions PHP. I don't know what that means. It reads the require.php constraint from your apps composer. Require.php. Is that like the JSON path to that?
Yeah, that's not right. So it reads the, it's not. Oh yeah, that would be the that doesn't make, that's right. It is right. Right. So like,
isn't it requires?
Could be. Probably is. No, it's just require.php. That is right. It's just dot notation.
Yes.
But it looks like it's a PHP file the way that it's written.
Yeah.
Stop calling me, people. Oh.
Block.
I meant to. I did the other one. Let's see, where am I?
It's just people like, yo, Shane, you're on TV. You're famous, bro. I just saw your face on the side of a truck.
It was the truck.
Yeah.
Yeah, it reads the required PHP constraint from your app's composer JSON and automatically downloads the matching PHP binary. PHP 8.3 is the lowest supported version. If your composer JSON specifies 8.3, you'll get 8.3. If it specifies 8.4, you'll get 8.4. We should say if it's 8.2, you'll get 8.3.
Yeah.
This means you no longer need to worry about PHP version mismatches between your development environment and the embedded runtime. Not that you really had, well, actually you did. Yeah. Because if you're on 8.5, you only had 8.4.18 or 15 or whatever. Native PHP matches what your app actually needs. Yep. Okay. You good with this?
Yeah. It's a little bit verbose, but I think it's fine because it kind of gets the point across. I feel like we could be a bit more direct and say what to change where with a more explicit example, but I don't know that
they don't need to change anything though. Technically, it's just,
well, no, I know it's slightly tricky. It's just kind of doesn't. I don't know whether it fits here or not. Actually,
I see. Is this part of the upgrade guide?
you don't need to change it to make things work. That's like
the rule.
Yeah, I think we just get rid of it.
Do you have to change this to make it work? Yes, you do. So if you want to support filament, you have to say with ICU during the install. Yeah.
Yeah, ouch.
Yep. You asked for it. You got it. It works. It's awesome.
We can leave that.
Updated config file. Several new sections. Did this have to change? Do we have to? There's nothing here to make it work. It's all the same. So no. Nope. Configurable Android SDK versions.
You say that. Sorry, I'm just sort of registering that, and I'm like, updated config file. Several new sections.
You don't need this to make it work, though.
So
this actually isn't. This isn't.
Are all sensible.
Those
defaults.
were there before. It's just because when I had it do this, it wrote this to the config file, and it like these were already there. The runtime is the only one that's new, and you don't have to add this. It's got the defaults.
Sure.
Shank Redemption. Okay.
Oh, look, there they are again.
Yeah, we don't need this here. Most apps don't need to change these defaults. Don't need that. Don't need the binary caching. It's not there anymore. Plugin multi-register. Nope, no, these are not breaking changes. Unregistered plugin warnings. Nope. Nope. And then we're going to change that anyway. Active tab bar color, ZTS support, static link on Android. None of these things.
Yeah, again, all of that is just not stuff you have to change to make it work.
Yep.
Cool.
You're cool. Yeah, that's cool.
Nice and tidy.
Better. Nice. All right. That's really a lot too. Like, but whatever. If you want to read, you like to read. I like to read. I don't read. I have so many books I never read. All right, one more. Where is this? What am I looking at? It's the cues. The cues section. So this is new under basics. Nope. Concepts. Cues. Let's read through this. Uh-oh. It's showing up locally for me. That's crazy. Probably should fix that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Don't worry about that. I think I fixed that in a different thing.
No, I think it's just me. As every time I do anything, because I have 8.5. If I change this to 8.4, I have to update.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Actually, we're not on 8.5. Are we? What? Why'd you do that? Stop it. What's going on? I don't know.
I don't know, man. We're losing our.
Everyone's like, I'm going back to work. We're
losing our heads.
Yeah. All right, background.
Gone to bed.
He should. Good. Get your rest, dude.
Just like in bed with the lamp on, just like I'm watching my TV program. Yeah.
NativePHP runs a background queue worker alongside your app's main thread. Queued jobs execute off the main thread so they won't block your UI or slow down user interactions. Both iOS and Android are supported. Set your queue connection to database in your env file. That's it. NativePHP handles the rest. The worker starts automatically when your app boots. Usage. Use Laravel standard queue dispatching. Everything works exactly as you'd expect. Sync data, dispatch payload, or using the dispatch helper. You can do either one of those. Example, a post request to an API endpoint, and then you want to toast something. Put that on the queue. How it works. When your app boots, NativePHP automatically starts a dedicated PHP runtime on a separate thread that this worker pulls queue work once in a loop, picking up and executing queue jobs as they come in. Because it runs on its own thread with its own PHP runtime, your queue jobs are fully isolated from the main request cycle. Long-running tasks won't affect app responsiveness. The queue worker starts automatically. You don't need to run any artisan commands or configure a supervisor. NativePHP manages the worker lifecycle natively on both platforms.
Beautiful.
Things to note. The queue worker requires ETS, which is included by default in 3.1. That's kind of a moot point. Which way? Only the database queue connection is supported. This uses the same SQLite database as your app. Jobs are persisted to the database, so they survive app restarts. If a job fails, Laravel's standard retry and failure handling applies. I freaking love it. It's one of the biggest things.
It'll be really interesting to see how that actually plays out.
Actually, let's give it a shot. We can do it.
No, I mean some of the like failure retry things. I wonder if you might end up in a scenario. I think we might need to be a bit more hand-holdy with that, because like you're running on a user's device, you don't have insight. Like if you had a long-running job or something that it just kept on infinitely rerunning, then if on the server you'd go in and you'd sort of potentially manually sort out the job, or you'd figure something out, right, to stop it sort of blocking that queue worker or getting on with what it actually needs to do. But when it's on a user's device, you don't have, like, if you've misconfigured a job and now it's just every time the user opens the app, unbeknownst to them, it's constantly trying to do this work. I feel like we need some
I just tested
guardrails.
It didn't work. Oh. So the test was hit the queue with a job, kill the app, right? Come back.
Yeah.
It doesn't detect that and start it up. Oh, it did. Never mind. I take that back. It did work. Okay. That's actually badass. Maybe we want to add more configuration for that, perhaps. Like maybe there's times you don't want to do that.
I'm going to say against adding lots of configuration for stuff to start with. I think we can get to the point where it's got configuration once we understand what people actually are bumping into. Yeah, but my take is that we should have guardrails, like we forcibly make sure that no job can ever run maybe more than, actually, maybe they can't ever run more than one time by default. You know, it's not like it's going to go on to an
like
infinite
the once
cycle
per server
of just
thing, or
well, yeah, it's not even that. It's just like tries is always one, or do you know what I mean? Like,
gotcha.
you
Yeah,
actually tell the queue worker, like, you must never try this job more than any job on this queue more than once, because we don't ever want to get into a situation where the user's device is constantly trying to do some work and constantly failing. Because, like, imagine the worst case scenario of that is you've got 1 million users and they all, for whatever reason, trigger a job that fails to hit your API. Like, it's hitting your API, but it's failing for some reason that's maybe outside of your control from the API side.
sure.
Now it's just dependent upon the app configuration. And now you've got to get people to update their app. If they can't update the app, or they don't update the app, then your server's getting hit by 1 million requests however often, you know, whilst everybody's queue worker keeps on bashing you.
I don't know if that's an app problem though. So the way I look at that is like, yeah, but think about this. So say your server goes down for some indefinite amount of time and you have 1 million apps trying to hit it and they're failing. You don't want that to stop necessarily though. You want that to fail until it actually succeeds, because maybe you have data on the device that you have to get up to the API. What are you going to do? What do you
No, I think that you would do that as like your that's more like scheduled activity rather than queue work. Like, if you're talking about data syncing,
I was thinking
it's
about
like,
scheduled
okay,
activities.
the scheduled stuff will like check and then go back and try again. But hey, stop playing a game. I'm talking.
I'm listening. I'm just ADD or something.
Wait, I want to play. Where is it?
We wait till we have like
I need to walk the dog.
3 people in our stream to do this.
I can't.
Is there anybody in our stream?
Nah,
I'm looking.
Nobody's watching.
There's 19 watching right now. I don't know.
Where are you?
Where are you?
I was there.
You're not in here, dude.
Am I in the wrong place? Wait.
You're not in the room.
No. Come on.
Well, lame.
No. That sucks.
Oh well. Some other day. Bing bong. Yeah, dude. This is getting really sick. This is getting really good. I'm really happy with this stuff. All right, so a little bit of cleanup, not much, I don't think. I think we're ready to roll with this. Everything is tested on my side.
I'm getting dark. Look, I'm so
I see
I've been sat here so much. I'm in the dark.
What the heck, dude?
Oh my goodness, I can see now. Okay. I think
no Redis on the queue. What are you talking about? We're not running another whole Redis server. It's just a PHP database queue driver. You don't need another whole server running, you know. No, that's not how this works. This is not web development anymore, guys. It's mobile development, right?
Have a default timeout and retry limit, then skip with errors. Yeah, like This is kind of what I'm saying. And then what else? Default to retry one, stop, and leave a config option for it.
Yeah, I can see that. So say you're uploading a video to an API and halfway through the server dies, right? You'd want to try to retry that. You want to give you're responsible, you as the app developer, responsible for handling the alerting the user, interfacing with the user, telling them big red thing, can't connect to server right now or something like that. And then it just fails after so many times, not going to try anymore. You have to retry it if you want to retry it, right? That's up for the user to
right.
Manage
This is the distinction, right? In the environment where as the server-based application owner, the developer, let's say, whatever, sysops, DevOps, blah blah blah, you have control over the environment and you have control over the code. In the client app situation, which is where we're getting to, it's different. You don't really have control over either of the things. You don't have control over the environment.
You can't like restart Nginx, right? Or like some supervisor process.
So I actually think like you can't necessarily, as the developer trying to think ahead to like a situation where the user might bump into this thing, like I'm gonna want to allow my code to automatically retry. I think what you have to do is take that it fails after the first attempt and tell the user and get them to explicitly tell you what they want to do, which is what I think probably most they might have some sense of like back off and intelligent retrying, but it's up to a limit, because there needs to be a limit. There needs to be a point where the user is informed and they're asked what to do. And I think we're just saying.
I think that's once. I don't see a reason why you would, even in the case you're uploading a file, you don't want to retry uploading the file automatically. You want the user to interact and say, oh, something happened, try again. And they try it again, right? Yeah. We are making the decision up for people, but it's based on, 15 years of using apps.
The point is, yeah, exactly. I think the point is that we go out opinionated. It's going to be out there in the open. So if people come back with feedback like, oh, this doesn't work for me, like my scenario is different, whatever. Cool. Yeah, let's make it so it's configurable and we'll work it out. I think we need that level of guardrail on the start, because otherwise it's gonna get really. And it should just be as simple as passing the tries equals 1 flag or something to the artisan, not the artisan, but the way that it runs the queue.
Samuel Coffee, are you still here, buddy? I can't help you if you don't give me more, but if you're here, I will help you. Like I would if like you come back later and watch this. Then
I think anything like that, hop on the Discord and maybe try and hop on a call. Like I'm happy to hop on a call with somebody and debug some stuff. But it's pretty tricky to do over a live stream.
You know what, dude? It's reasonable.
Yep.
I think we're gonna call
I'm gonna have to shoot. Yep.
Yeah. We're good. I feel good. There's some little tweaks we'll make to just the docs, but everything's working as expected. We do have to merge. So like I'm pulling from a different branch for my binary. So we'll get that merged to the main and trigger a redeploy and get that done. I had to bump the GitHub budget up to like $100 or something. We blew past 50.
That's fine.
I figured it's worth spending the time to get it right, set it.
It's not going to go over next month.
No. It's never going to happen again. It was the process of getting it right. That's all.
Sure.
Okay.
Yep. That's all good. Nice one, dude.
Peace, y'all. Thanks. You're cute. So, we each have our own roles.
They are. Oh,
you're modeling. Okay. I'm working and stuff. It's fine.
I can do this. Yeah, nice. We'll talk about the stuff that I've been working on Friday.
Cool.
Yeah.
We'll probably demo all this stuff too, and we'll do like get the release ready and we'll just tag it and push it out at the end of the stream. I think it's fun. Friday, end of day, click, see ya. Enjoy the weekend.
I love deploying on a Friday is the best.
It's fast as hell, dude. It's like, so I'm so excited. Like, it changes everything. This is something that's been driving me nuts for months. Like, why is this so slow on Android? There's got to be a better way. Good. And sure enough, there is. So all right, there's other work we have to get to. And then, yeah. All right.
I got to go relieve my dog.
Love you. Bye.
He's standing guard duty, you know, whatever. Ciao.